Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and today I have a new custom to show. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles main villain Shredder in the Marvel Legends format, of course, because that's what I prefer to work in, and that's what my customers want. The base body is Wonder Man. I swapped the lower from the knees down with Black Panther boots. I resculpted the boots so they didn't have the claws on them. I resculpted Wonder Man's gloves, the bracer things he had on his wrists. The cape is from some Batman figure. I don't know which Batman that is. This part's from Elektra. The belt is a Mr. Sinister strap. These, and these are from an old Ninja Turtles Shredder, the old one. It doesn't look anything like the cartoon. These are from the mutating Shredder figure. I cut these straps out of neoprene, same with the hand ones. The helmet is a heavily modified, newer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, the animated movie or CGI movie Shredder. I took the whole inside of the helmet out, the head and everything that was in there, so I just had the shell. I took one of the rungs of the helmet off also, it was a lot longer. And then I reshaped the horns, or whatever you want to call them, to be a little bit more accurate to the cartoon version. That's what this is based on. It's not exactly the cartoon version. It's a little more gritty and realistic looking, but that's what we were going for, basing it off of that. The head inside the helmet is a modified Wonder Man head, and I made it so that the face mask of the helmet is removable. And there you have Orokusaki. Shredder has a face. So I thought that was a nice little touch. Probably never will display it with the face mask off, but it's nice to have that option if you wanted to. I think anyway. I figured I had to make the face mask anyway, so I might as well make it removable. And it just snaps on. It's form fitted to the face, just like the Iron Man Marvel Legends figures face masks. It just fits on, and since it wraps around, it holds pretty nicely. He also has a nice staff weapon. I don't know how the light's going to work on this metallic, but this part at the top and at the bottom is from the same figure that had the helmet. Then I just drilled that out and put a stainless steel staff inside, make it look a little cooler. I repainted it, trimmed it up a little bit, reshaped it. So he's got that. It's kind of a tall weapon. It's not as tall as it looks in the camera. That's just from the angle. Shredder stands at 6.5 inches, and the staff is 7.5 inches. So it's not as much of a difference as it looks like in the video. It's not as tall, but it is. I wanted to give it some good size. All of the metal parts I painted black and then dry brushed the steel so that they looked kind of gritty looking and worn and used. And of course it's really metallic, the silver part is. Same thing with the helmet. I dry brushed the gray on top of the black for the main part of the clothes. And then the pants and the belt are just plain old flat black. Let me see. Oh, the cape. I repainted it black even though Batman's cape is automatically black. And obviously I trimmed the bottom of it too. And I did a really, really faint purple on it because I didn't want him to look like he had a big, bright purple cape. But it's just enough purple to look purple and not be too bright and frilly, I guess. Shredder should have a nice dark cape, I think. So I didn't want it to be very bright at all. And I think that worked out. He's got all the Wonder Man articulation. It's somewhat limited by the cape, obviously. But he's got the shoulder joints, the chest joints, the ab crunch, bicep swivel, double elbow joint, wrist hinge, hands open and close, waist twist, ball joint hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knee. And I did glue this one shut again in the shin because it's silly, and I had to put the knee pads or the shin pads on anyway. Then he's got the full ankle pivot, ankle rocker, and the toe joint is still in there, even though I trim the feet. So he's got a lot of posability, and I think it suits him very well with these bits of Shredder armor. I think it's really nice to be able to pose him in a nice cool pose. It is somewhat limited in the shoulders by the shoulder pads because that I had to just glue right onto the shoulder. because that's how they designed the comic book, or I mean the cartoon character. His shoulder pads just stuck right onto him, so I didn't have much choice. The only major difference I did on this figure from the cartoon is the wrists. He's supposed to have just bare arms underneath the metal straps, but I didn't like the way that looked, so I put some black wrap, like bandages, and I think that makes it look a little more finished, a little cooler. But there you have it. There is the updated real-life version of Shredder, based on the cartoon version. His staff, of course. And let's get a close-up on his head before I end the video. The helmet was actually really fun to make, or to modify. I was going to sculpt one from scratch, but I decided I could just do it a lot better if I modified the one that they had already. It had a great shape to it, and once I glued I reshaped and glued the horns, it looked perfect. And then the face mask, I just filled it out nicely, and I think it's probably better than I would have been able to sculpt it without spending tons and tons of time on it. So I was really pleased with how that turned out. And just the color combination on this guy, one of my favorite customs in a long time, to be honest. I really enjoyed making this figure, and I'm really pleased with how it came out. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any ideas for new customs, or even just some new figure reviews you want me to do, let me know. Keep an eye out for new customs and new figure reviews. I'm going to keep churning those out. And in the meantime, keep collecting. Thanks for watching.